While waiting in the lunch line, you see a poster that shows a dinner plate with chicken, rice, and vegetables on it, and a glass of milk just above the plate. The poster's headline reads, "A balanced meal," and there is a line coming from each food item that states the food group it belongs to and a healthy serving size for one meal. The author's primary purpose for making this poster is most likely A. To entertain readers while they are waiting in the lunch line, B. To describe a balanced meal, C. To inform readers of what foods that should be eaten every day, or D. To inform readers what makes up a balanced meal. Okay, for this card, I only see answer choices that talk about entertaining, and then they use the word describe, but that's also a kind of informing. So, the author's purpose is either to entertain us or to inform us. Which one do you think the author made the poster for? Was it to entertain us, to make us feel some kind of emotion, or was it to inform us and give us like facts and details and stuff? Kylie, what would you say?
To inform us.
Okay, so if it's inform, we have three answer choices that we could pick. We have B, C, and D. We need to think about what kind of facts or information are they giving
It's
us.
time to go to PE.
So, Kylie had said that the purpose for this one was to inform. We have three answer choices that are informed.
Mr. Tomato? Oh, there you go.
Okay, but what are we supposed to be doing right now, Christopher? Okay, so we have three answer choices that are informed. B, to describe a balanced meal. C, to inform readers of foods that should be eaten every day. D, to inform readers of what makes up a balanced. So why might someone have made this post? Kylie, what do you think? You pick B, C, or D?
D.
Okay, why D? What do they tell us that makes D a better answer? Because I think D is a good choice, but what's our proof? How do we know that they're showing us what makes up a balanced? Let's read the description again and see if we can find a clue. While waiting in the lunch line, see a poster that shows a dinner plate with chicken, rice, and vegetables on it, and a glass of milk just on the plate. The poster's headline reads, "A balanced meal," and there is a line coming from each food item that states the food group it belongs to and a healthy serving size for one meal. So what do they do, Kylie, that shows up that shows us what makes up a balanced? What's the title of that poster, Kylie?
A balanced meal.
Okay. And what do they show us on the poster?
Chicken, rice, and vegetables on it, and a glass of milk.
Okay. Does it tell us anything, or is it just pictures?
Hmm, pictures.
And what does it say later on? There is a line coming from each food item. What is the line for?
Food. It's a foods group that it belongs to.
Okay. So it's telling us about the different stuff that
That
okay. So it's telling us about the stuff that we should be eating, right? I agree with you, Kylie. I think answer choice D is a really good answer choice. My circle where answer there in that poster, the whole purpose of making it was to tell us what makes up a balanced meal. Because they didn't say anywhere on the poster you need to eat chicken every day and you need to eat rice every day. It wasn't there just to describe it to us, but to show us this is how much of the chicken you should have, and this is how much of the rice, and how much milk, and how much veggies. Tell us how we should make, or how we can make better food choices. Okay. Card number 10. You have just read an article in the newspaper about a family from California that had traveled to Ohio to visit family. They took their dog along with them, but while they were at a rest stop in Indiana, on their way back home, their dog mysteriously disappeared. The family was shocked when 9 months later, their long lost dog appeared on the doorstep of their California home. The author's primary purpose for writing the above article is most likely blank. A. To entertain readers with the details of a family's vacation to Ohio. B. To entertain readers with the details of a family reuniting with their lost dog. C. To describe how a lost dog made its way back to its home in California from a rest stop in Indiana. Or D. To persuade readers to keep their dog on a leash when traveling. So this one has answer choices for persuade, for inform, and for entertain. It's alright, Sebastian. So I need to figure out, why did the author write this? Was it to persuade, to inform, or to entertain? Jadine, what would you say? Persuade, inform, or entertain?
entertain because entertain you would like have a feeling, and that
Okay.
feeling was they lost their dog, and then it was happy because they found it again.
Okay, I like that you thought about that. Entertain, because it does get you to feel some emotions. Like you said, I think especially at the end, you feel like really happy that the dog came back, right? We have two answer choices that say to entertain. So we're going to take a closer look at those, JD. A. To entertain readers with the details of a family's vacation to Ohio. Or B. To entertain readers with the details of a family reuniting with their lost dog. Which of those two answer choices do you think is better, JD? Answer choice A or B?
I think it's B because it it's not talking about the vacation that much.
Okay. You know what? I really like that answer. And you're right. It doesn't talk about their vacation very much. It tells us that they went on vacation and that they stopped and the dog disappeared. but it doesn't tell us where they went on their vacation or what souvenirs they bought or if they were visiting anyone or what hotel they stayed at or how long they were there. It doesn't tell us about the vacation. It's talking about the dog, right?
Yeah. One
And
more
what is
thing.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you go not like number 9, like the question number
Sure.
9?
I just have one question for you. They use the word
Okay.
reuniting. What does reuniting mean?
When you get to see someone that you haven't seen in a long time.
Okay, that's a great way to describe it. When you get to see someone you haven't seen in a long time, and in this case, the person or the thing that they're reuniting with is their dog, because they haven't seen their dog in a while. So answer choice B is the better answer choice. And you said you needed to see number 9, right?
Yes. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Number 11. With each step, Hannah could more strongly detect the scent of fresh paint. Her mother's hands and voice guided her up the stairs and down the hall. The blindfold was loosened and removed from Hannah's face. The bedroom she saw in front of her had bright pink walls and crisp white furniture. The curtains were pulled back to allow the warm sunshine to blanket the space. Her newly redecorated room was even better than she dreamt it would be. The author's primary purpose for the above statements is most likely A. To describe Hannah's experience seeing her newly decorated room. B. To describe Hannah's experience being blindfolded. C. To inform readers what was done to redecorate Hannah's room. Or D. To persuade readers to ask their parents to have their room decorated. So this question also has answer choices for persuade, for inform, and for entertain. Who can tell me this card? Why do you think the author wrote this? There are these sentences. Did they write it to persuade us, to inform us, or to entertain us? Are they trying to get us to change our minds? Are they giving us facts and details? Or are they trying to get us to feel an emotion? Ezekiel, what do you think? Was this written to persuade, to inform, or to entertain?
Inform.
Okay. And why do you say inform? What does inform mean, Ezekiel?
Like 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 explain.
Okay, like explaining. Not a bad way to describe it at all. And oh, you know what? I'm sorry. There wasn't even an entertain answer choice on here. It should have just been inform or persuade. I agree with you. I think informing is good, and they use some words like describe that are the same as informing us. They're still giving us facts, they're giving us details. So Ezekiel, I've got 3 answer choices that are about informing. So let's read those answer choices and we'll see if we can find the best one, okay?
Okay.
A. To describe Hannah's experience seeing her newly decorated room. B. to describe Hannah's experience being blindfolded, or C, to inform readers what was done to redecorate Hannah's room? So those are all about informing, but which one do you think is the best answer choice, Ezekiel? What are they mostly talking about? Are they talking about Hannah seeing her new room? Are they talking about Hannah being blindfolded? Or are they talking about what they did to Hannah's room?
Did you call me?
No, baby.
Okay.
So which one would you say, Ezekiel?
C.
Which one?
Answer choice C.
Okay. So did they tell us like the steps of how they redecorated her room? Like the first thing they did was this, and then they had to do this, and then this was the next thing that they fixed, and then they fixed this. Did they kind of tell us how they redecorated the room, Ezekiel?
No.
No. Okay. So not C. That gives us two answer choices. What did they tell us more about, Ezekiel? Did they tell us more about Hannah seeing her new room, what it looked like now? Or did they talk more about Hannah being blindfolded?
Blindfolded.
So they told us that they walked like behind her, and then they put the blindfold on, and then they tied it behind her head. Did they keep talking about the blindfold?
No.
No, that wasn't what they were focusing on. They were informing us, but the thing that they were informing us about was about her seeing her room. Look at what they said. With each step, Hannah could more strongly detect the scent of fresh paint. So this is talking about the fact that she can smell the paint because they've repainted her walls. Her mother's hands and voice guided her up the stairs and down the hall. So she's walking to her room. This is the only sentence where they talk about a blindfold. The blindfold was loosened and removed from Hannah's face. But they don't tell us how long she was blindfolded. They don't tell us what the blindfold was made of, what color it was, how it felt. Nothing. And then they start talking about her room again. The bedroom she saw in front of her had bright pink walls and crisp white furniture. The curtains were pulled back to allow the warm sunshine to blanket the space. And look at that last sentence. Her newly redecorated room was even better than she dreamt it would be. So if we look at these other ones, they didn't talk about her being blindfolded very much. It was one sentence out of the entire paragraph here. They described a little bit what they had done to kind of fix her room. But this was what the paragraph was doing here. It was telling us about Hannah seeing her new room for the first time. How they blindfolded her, how she walked up the steps, how they took off the blindfold, and you could see she saw all the new furniture, the new walls. And it says here at the end that it was even better than she dreamt it would be. Wait for now, Nakai. That's the plan, Christopher. Trying. So we got to be careful when we're picking the answer choices, Ezekiel. We want to make sure that if we need to, we can always go back and read the story again, or in this case, the paragraph. Because if it's just one small part of the story of the paragraph, whatever it might have been, then that's not probably the reason why the author chose to write. I showed the slides right now, Bella. Were you paying attention? Right now you were in your seat, baby. I can see you on the camera. Here's the slides again. Number 12. Have you thought about what you are going to give your mom for Mother's Day? What? You weren't going to bother getting her anything? Whoa. I'd think twice about that if I were you. Just think about everything your mom does for you, and often without receiving any thanks. Is a card, a simple deed, or a small gift too much to bother with for someone who has done so much for you? It says the author's primary purpose for the above statements is most likely blank. A. Persuade readers to tell their dad to do something special for their mom on Mother's Day. B. To persuade readers to do something special for their mom on Mother's Day. C. To explain to readers what they should do for their mom on Mother's Day. Or D. To explain why mothers deserve a gift on Mother's Day. So this one doesn't have any entertain answer choice. It's just persuade and inform. Except this time they use the word explain. Christopher, what do you think the author's purpose is here? Is it to persuade or is it to inform? Okay, persuade. So there's two persuade answer choices, Christopher. A and B. Persuade readers to tell their dad to do something special for their mom on Mother's Day, or persuade readers to do something special for their mom on Mother's Day. What do you think they're trying to persuade the reader or us to do, Christopher? To ask dad to do something special or to do something special? Would you pick A or pick B? B. I agree with you, Chris. If I look in the entire paragraph, let's try reading it again, just to be sure. Have you thought about what you're going to give your mom for Mother's Day? What? You weren't going to bother getting her anything? Whoa. I'd think twice about that if I were you. Just think about everything your mom does for you, and often without receiving any thanks. Is a card, a simple deed, or a small gift too much to bother with for someone who has done so much for you? in that entire paragraph, I don't see the word dad at all. So answer choice A would not be a very good answer choice because they never ever mention dad. Ever in the whole paragraph. They're talking to the reader, to us, saying that we should do something special for Mother's Day, that we should get our moms a gift for Mother's Day. Not that we should tell somebody else to do it, that we should do it. So answer choice B is the best answer choice that they give us.